What's up, guys? It's time for 2025 upgrades for this thing, and the goals are 850s, so we need to get there. One of the first things that is going to happen is in a couple days, this is going to get the roll bar converted into an 850 roll cage. In order to accomplish that, we've got to do a little bit of prep work. Some of it's already been done. You'll see there is no interior inside the car. The other thing is that we're going to switch from a factory non-tilt steering column over to a lightweight tubular one from, you guess it. All right, as I was saying, this tubular column came from Motion Raceworks. There's a few reasons why, but one of which is that I work there. So anyways, the easiest way to show you how this install is going to be off the car. So on the column itself, there are two 13mm bolts that hold, or nuts that hold this to the dash support, and then there are three, you can see them here, 10mm body screws that hold this plate to the firewall itself. And then down here on the factory column, there's a splined section of shaft that a U-joint slides onto and then locks down with either a jam nut or a pinch bolt. And then on the steering box side is going to be the same thing. For steering wheel, we are going to switch out the Grant wheel for an MPI wheel. You guys already know my style, so I've got the flag wheel pattern here. That was a limited run. There's still a few left as of the release of this video. Anyways, the wheel comes from Max Pappas Innovation. Motion is a dealer or sells them, however you want to word it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so got the old column out, got the new column sitting over here. Some things to notice are the factory column has turn signals, high beams, and ignition switch harnesses on them. The tubular column is a race car part and does not have those provisions. However, these are not difficult to overcome. So right here we have dimmer switch, part store replacement, mount that on the floor, 2 bolts, stomp on it every time you want to change high or low beams. People about my age and a little bit older, you will remember this. Younger folk, look it up. Turn signal switch, there's a company called Racewire Solutions. They have a plug-in module that will go from the factory wire inside of this and go into a module that then uses 3 wires to connect to the Motion or someone else's turn signal switch, and it makes it a plug-and-play affair. Anyways, then what we've got for ignition, words are hard, ignition switch wiring is actually really simple. What I've got here is a switch panel from Racewire Solutions that will be going on the Halo as soon as the car is back, and then we'll be cleaning up the last of the factory wiring. If you do not want a push button, push to start, whatever you want to call it, or you just don't want this, some people also want to retain a key. What you can do is there are replacement universal style. You can go to the parts store, there's some for tractors. Anyways, it's a pretty simple accessory, run and start switch. You just plug it in. If you think back to the OBS truck that we gave away a couple months ago, anyways, at least as of the film, when I'm shooting this, it was a few months ago, we gave that away over I think it was September. Anyways, that's what we used on that truck. So now that we've talked about kind of the differences, another one that some people are going to want to know is the weight. This one here is a factory non-tilt column. Notice no joint here. The joint could be like about right there or whatever. Anyways, this was sponsored to me by Warden Motorsports, or some of you know him as Steve Zagrodnik or Big Mean Jerk. Anyways, factory non-tilt column weighs 5 pounds less than the tilt column. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh these here for you real quick. Okay, so here we've got 16 pounds for the stock non-tilt column. The Motion column here weighs 7.2 pounds. Okay, once you've got the column in, the next step is for you to make up your intermediate shaft. So come in here. On the steering column side, this is a 3/4 smooth round tube. And on a street car, we want to use a double D shaft on this side. For a 3rd gen, now I have, or a S10. This is an S10, manual S10 box. They came in 4-cylinder trucks. This is a 30 spline U-joint. How we attach this. At the steering column side, I get a call about this at least once a day. There's a hole in here at the top of the U-joint on both sides. We want to through bolt through the column. Down here on the intermediate shaft, you can either weld or set screw. I'm going to use the set screws. The reason why this joint in particular is through bolted is so that if you have to service anything, you don't have to undo the U-joint on the steering box or steering rack side and pull the whole intermediate shaft through the firewall. Okay, as you can see, I got the double D shaft made, complete the intermediate shaft between those two U-joints. To refresh, here is what's left of the double D shaft. Imagine, if you will, it is 8.5 and another 1/8 inch longer. Throw it in the chop saw, chopped it down. Once I had the double D shaft cut down to length, imagine, if you will, that this is that. I slid it into the U-joint, and then I took the Sharpie, marked where that set screw is going to land, and then I drilled a dimple into there so the set screw has somewhere to land and positively locate on that double D shaft. Once that was done, I brought it back over to here. I ensured, if you can see that, I ensured that the alignment stripe on the wheel was pointing straight up. I then, where that bolt is in there, if it'll focus, did the same thing. I put the Sharpie on that spot, marked it, came in from the bottom side, marked the bottom side of it, went over to the bench. Before I did that, I pulled it out. You pull the inner shaft out by loosening that collar. You loosen this collar, the whole inner shaft comes out of the tube column. Took it over to the bench, stuck in a vise, drilled it. There we go, Bob's your uncle. Anyways, can't leave you guys going without. We turn the wheel. Front tires move. Once the car's back from getting the roll cage done, we'll go ahead and give it an alignment before we put it back on the road. So, word of note, another reason why I wanted this column was this quick release. Come in here, grab it with one hand, slide it off. It's got that, I don't know, call it Snapchat little ghost thing. Anyways, the wheel can only go on one way. It goes on easy as pie. Some of the other design quick releases. This one has the same one-handed release, but it has the splines on there. This is annoying to line back up. There's another design that has what they call a missing tooth in there. That means this wheel will only go on in one direction. Lining that one missing spline up is a pain in the ass. The one with the splines goes on a little bit easier, but it is very easy, as you can see right now, to be off by one spline. Extremely annoying whenever you're driving. Take the wheel off, get in the car, put the wheel back on, start driving, and you're off one hair. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Short video. Car's getting out, going to go to the cage probably early next week. If you get stuck around this long, I think it's fair to say that you like the video. Go ahead and shoot a like on there. If you want to see some more of this, hit the subscribe. You'll see more. By the way, the Ram is not mine. The Ram is my dad's. He brought it over. We did a little bit of work on it today. Anyways, like, share, follow, subscribe. Up here in the corners, there's going to be some videos I think you might like. Thanks for watching. Have a nice night.